we are all interconnected. Whatever happens in other parts of the world, and especially in the animal world or animal agriculture industries, has an effect on us, on the planet. So I'm Peachie Dioquino Valera. I am a proud ally of AEP and a Filipina climate reality leader. Sa VegFest, I discovered them around 2016 or 17, somewhere there. And maliit pa to eh. Nasa Eastwood pa sila, just a handful of merchants. And it was 2018 when they invited me to be a climate speaker. And 2018, 2019, yun pa lang yung role ko sa kanila. Kaya lang no 2019, kasi I used to handle events and production. So imagine, mounting that kind of festival. It's purely volunteerism, and kaya yung lahat from operations to execution, everything, you sinisingit mo yung planning and the in-betweens, your weekends, 3 hours of the morning, alam mo yun, nagiging on-call rin kami. So that was really very challenging for us. At tapos palaki lang rin ang palaki. So imagine mo this number of people, and then dealing with a lot of people rin, from merchants to guests to sponsors, everything like that. I feel like being a co-organizer in itself is such a, I don't know, it's like a big milestone with a ribbon for me. But if I were to pick, yung mga top milestones ko, bringing it to really mainstreaming it and being able to create such a big festival na title siya as the largest vegan festival in Asia, hindi lang Southeast Asia. So, sabi ko nga, 100% volunteer, tapos 100% of profits goes to beneficiaries. Sabi ko, nagawa natin. So, I'm really proud of that. And for me, importante talaga sa amin yung beneficiaries. So, I'm proud that every year, atop the stress of mounting an event, there's an added pressure to have a lot of sponsors so we can we can pay for the operational costs and make sure may sizable amount kami to donate to our beneficiaries. I love the fact that we have a warm community, and I feel part of it is we fashion VegFest to be a joyous event na non-antagonizing, non-shaming, and no judgment space. Kasi ang hirap ng tingin, di ba? May bias na yung ibang tao about vegans eh. Lagi nga tayong tinatawag na angry vegans eh. So this one is our attempt to, reach out and say, hey, you know what? Come check it out. You might like it. You might learn something from it. So it's a milestone to be able to bring it to that kind of attack when dealing or parang spreading or influencing people about veganism. So for VegFest, I would say, nakaka-10th year lang namin nung March, early this year. Let's see kung mag-rest muna, pahinga, have the volunteers or the core group deal with some personal issues as well. But either way, sabi nga namin, stay tuned pa rin kasi we may rest or stop, but the social media part, imparting of lessons and events and even partnerships, it will still continue. And then as for me, I'd still continue the things that I'm doing, but more balanced kasi sabi ko nga multiple hats, but I need to be able to really get attuned sa sarili ko na parang am I spreading myself too thin, that kind of thing. So balancing act is very important, especially if you're also an activist and you have several passions to do. And meron akong parang gustong plan na to publish a children's story na it's a green story. It has been aging in my laptop. Kaya lang talagang hindi ko siya malabas kasi nagigilty talaga ako sa papel. Like parang iniisip ko, oh my God, pag nag-publish ako ng book, although I'm a tactile person, I feel like I just want, if there's a publisher out there who has like an FSC certified or recycled paper with vegan ink at low cost, never know. We dream na baka may takers dyan. The Global Sensitivity Report says that like 87% of the greenhouse gas emissions comes from the animal agriculture industry. So we know it's been established that the animal agriculture is a main contributor or driver of climate change. And isipin lang natin, I want to give some numbers and statistics here parang for us to imagine. Let's deal with one food animal. For example, yung baka pa lang. So 51% ng land use natin, binibigay natin sa mga baka. So imagine the cattle ranchers would raise forests just to give, grazing grounds. And nagiging problema na rin to sa Amazon. So we know Amazon rainforest to be the lungs of the earth. And to be able to just, decimate the forest like that just because we crave burgers and steaks. Sabi ko nga, there's something, awfully wrong with that kind of number. And yung runoffs, kunwari, linilinisan nyo yung farm, and then yung dumi pumupunta rin sa waterways natin, especially sa dagat. And when it goes to the seas, it creates ocean dead zones because of the algal blooms, nade-deprive ng nutrients yung water and oxygen. And ang masama rin dito, pag napupunta siya sa freshwater bodies natin, there's eutrophication happening, and it really does a lot for our potable water reserve. And ang pangit rin na nangyayari dito is the extreme commodification of water because of that. Tapos, di ba, baka alam rin natin when they release gas or when they fart, they release methane. And methane is like, ang tawag nga namin doon, carbon dioxide on steroids. Because it's 30 times as potent as CO2. And since pag kumain ka rin ng burger, yung maliit pa lang na burger to, hindi to yung mga double down or Big Mac type of burgers. You are already consuming or wasting around 3 months worth of paligo or shower. That, di ba? Imagine mo na iisang burger lang tapos 3 months na tubig pala yung ginagamit natin. And when we I want to go to the seafood industry as well, right? Kasi marami tayong species dyan that helps with the climate mitigation part. So, seafood industry, we have what we call a bykill or bycatch. Meaning, yung mga nahuhuli na seafood animals, hindi lang sila. So, the seafood industry, they're able to kill turtles, manta rays, cetaceans, dolphins, what have you. And we need these keystone species. And pag patuloy pa rin nun, sabi nga ng UNEP or United Nations for Environment Program, we're looking at fishless oceans in the future. Tapos, siguro last, I wanna focus rin on the krill. So yung krill, we're overfishing, right? We're overfishing this particular seafood. And krill, kinakain siya ng mga balyena or whales. And whales are very important for capturing carbon. So imagine, because of whales, we are able to capture 37 billion tons of carbon per year. So, nasa sequester nila yon. And even the feces or dumi ng mga balyena, kinakain siya ng phytoplanktons. And phytoplanktons, we know them to be the foundations, sila talaga yung foundation organisms ng dagat. So without them, there's no sea life. Imagine that. pag pag nawala yung krill, nawala yung phytoplanktons, mahirap rin, unti-unti na rin mawawala yung mga balyena natin. And even yung simple nilang pag-swim, because the ocean has 4 layers, and because it has layers, nahihirapan yung nutrients to travel through those layers. Even yung pag-swim lang nila to the surface, break those layers and distributes nutrients to the ocean. So malaki ang role sa climate mitigation. It's never one thing to fix a system. But since one question lang, parang top of mind that comes to me is to be able to parang enact a law that would render animal agriculture illegal. I know this may be far-fetched for some, but we are also looking at a future that this may be an SOS kind of action, like because it's code red na or worse. But yung reason for that is pag nawala rin naman sila, animal agriculture, hindi na nare-reverse kasing climate change. We're not at that point already. It's already a climate changed world. But what climate professionals are also warning about is for us exceeding yung 1.5 degrees Celsius na limit natin, na feeling ko pa tayo, sobra pa rin tayo. We're overshooting already. So, for me, that kind of law could help. And gusto ko sana nakatuck in rin dito yung equity for our vegan farmers or plant produce farmers. Kasi wala nang middleman, wala nang land grabbing, wala nang forcing or shoving down pesticides or partner ng government na Frankenstein Monsanto seeds down their throats. They are being excluded if they don't buy into the program. Tapos parang tinatakot pa sila na parang, pag hindi mo binili tong seed and pesticide na to, right? Hindi mag-yield na maganda. But that's killing our soil as well. And we need soil to regulate the climate. If you don't have soil, there's no healthy biodiversity. So, maybe they can fashion it, yung law na yun, from the plant-based treaty proposition, So, redirect meaning transition na tayo sa plant-based food systems. And then relinquish, no more land use change. We need trees more than ever. It's not right to be decimating forests or inuubos na natin yung mga puno para lang sa sa industriya ng mga hayop. At pangatlo, restore. Reforest, and for me, lahat ng bodies of water, markahan na natin as marine protected area. Let's not just cherry pick, because it's just one ocean. It's interconnected. I mentioned a while ago about the projection of UNEP that there will be a fishless ocean by 2050. Tapos dun sa documentary ng Seaspiracy na nasa Netflix, sabi pa nila 2048. Tapos kami, mga futurists, parang sabi nga namin, nandun kami sa range or window na 2038 to 42. So sabihin na natin at least nandun sa decade span na yan. There will be fishless ocean. So marami rin tayong mangingisda. And it's already an ongoing fact that may parts rin ng Pilipinas na lumulubog, parang Maldives, inches kada year, it's going underwater. So parang combine those things, I'm seeing displacement of coastal or fisher folk, being displaced, and iniisip ko saan sila pupunta, diba? So either sa bundok yan or mas mataas na place or saan may trabaho. So iniisip ko na there will be more deforestation just to provide land for them. And if there's fishless ocean, I'm seeing that more Filipinos would probably eat land-based animals, and that would lead to high mortality rate. High mortality rate as it is. I have a friend who works in the chicken or poultry industry, and she tells me talaga, I don't think it's a secret anymore, but they keep bombarding, as in injecting chickens with hormones, antibiotics, on a very frequent basis, and it's creating an antimicrobial resistance dito sa mga to, and even in the soil, and it also goes to the consumers. So imagine a world where antibiotics are rendered, null and void just because of the food or that we eat. Sila yung nagkikreate. And nandun rin yung tataas palalo yung mga dengue kasi vector viruses, nakapag-travel na sila ng to warmer, even to the mountains because it's warmer, global warming, tas mas warm pa yung mundo. So yun yung nakikita ko, yung extremes naman, there's already level 7 typhoon. World Economic Forum detected that as of last year. So kung tayo medyo intense na sa atin yung level 5, imagine level 7 typhoon, tas couple it with intense corruption pa and really a broken or weak DRRM or disaster risk reduction management systems. So we're seeing catastrophes killing a lot of, taking a lot of lives. And there's this thing ngayon sa climate science where there are phenomenon called cloud bursts na undetected sudden, downpour of voluminous water. And meteorological technology cannot detect it immediately. So that can spell, a lot between life and death, being able to detect it beforehand. Maybe the silver lining for me is that we are able to push ourselves to change, to do away with our destructive ways, and maybe it's a different take into humanity in action. Napansin ko hindi lang siya sa Filipinos but yeah, very very distinct for me. I feel that not only in denial, I don't think there would be some Filipinos in denial, because of belief systems but I've encountered them. Meron kasi tayong thinking na, meron naman mag-a-address niyan. Someone else will come in to solve it. It's too big a problem. Parang I can't handle it. Parang I don't think I can do anything about it. That's always yung limiting belief natin. This may be an unpopular opinion, and I don't mean this to offend. But I feel yung collective religious belief rin ng Filipinos kinds of get in the way. Kasi mapapansin niyo ba, dapat may sakuna. There will be a barrage of online comments saying, ipasa Diyos natin, magdasal tayo para mawala yung bagyo. Prayers offered and stuff like that. I mean, I do pray, pero ang sometimes yung ganong kind of thinking renders us like actionless or ultra lax. And I would say self-denial na rin yun. So, sabi nga nila, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa taong gawa. Ang hirap lang na if we keep spouting that and then wala tayong kaakibat na action. So parang, regardless of religion to so parang it kinds of goes against yung, yung lessons rin of religions about really doing or being proactive here on earth. The top two na nakita kong, yung nako-collect ko na through my interviews, they would say na, or they would assume na mahal, kasi diba, vegan equals healthy daw, pero not necessarily na vegan equals healthy, right? But mahal siya kasi niche diet siya. And then the accessibility of it. Pero yung latter, I would feel the accessibility part would be such a problem. Baka lang dun sa mga hindi marunong magluto or walang time magluto. But yung price points, ano yun eh, kailangan talaga ng research dan eh. Kasi punta ka lang sa palengke mo, wala namang, hindi naman nauubusan ng gulay o prutas sa palengke. So I think kailangan talaga scar and really going out of your comfort zone and beyond yung usual grocery practices rin natin. Sometimes napansin ko to eh, na as for price point, naintindihan ko yun kasi kunwari level C or D demographics, naintindihan natin na talagang survival thing yun. Concern ang presyo. Sa class A or elite, it's more of is the food enjoyable? Parang am I gonna enjoy it? So not so much on their part. So I talked about price and accessibility. But I remember na I always have this answer as well. Hindi sustainable para sa akin yung veganism. And it's because there's this thinking that if you give up on your favorite foods, non-vegan food, kasi diba, food is life sa atin, it's culture, it's really deep for our people na hindi ko na ma-enjoy ang life. So tingin ko, importante rin na if we're trying to, help or mentor people with transitioning, to also look into the psychological underpinnings. And yun yung kasi yun yung concern nila rather than the economical ones eh. Hindi sustainable, hindi dahil sa accessibility or dahil sa presyo. It's more hindi sustainable sa kanila kasi yung enjoyment nila or parang feeling nila parang pinapalitan mo yung personality nila or individuality nila. So, I would zero in on a policy that asks public institutions and private entities to have at least 50% vegan food in their services or administration nila. Na yung sa public part, like sa government, sana i-tuck in nila na lahat ng cafeteria kasi 'di ba dapat sila yung walk the talk eh. And we know that the climate crisis affects every aspect of governance. So if they're really dogged and really serious about this climate crisis, they would really start from their cafeterias or even yung stores. Para sa akin nga, kung pwedeng 80 to 100% na palitan nila, go for it. I mean, do it. And maganda na magsusulong rin or mapaigting to sa educational or health sector. Education, kasi yung other countries, they're already baking in climate lessons, even as young as nursery or kinder. So hoping that they would integrate it into the curriculum as well. And as for the health sector, I mean, diba, it just makes sense. I'm getting this from my experience na pag nako-confine ako sa hospital dito, nagugulat lang ako kasi, diba, bibigyan ako ng food. Breakfast pa lang tayo, it's canned meat and then sugar-laden juice. And that's just breakfast. And I know, diba, parang nasa hospital ka, you wanna get well. And it's not enough that you provide sustenance. It should be a mandatory thing for hospitals to help patients heal holistically. Heal in every sense of the word. And so pag public administration, sana may ganon, i-mandate nila pati yung mga penitentiaries, especially sa schools, 50%, and then to incentivize mga, let's say, food eateries or restaurants na magkakaroon talaga ng vegan menu. Kung pwede, mandate it, 50%, and then incentivize them. So it will be easy for entrepreneurs or food businesses to transition or really offer that, yung ganong option. Aside from mounting events, tama yun eh, importante, like I mentioned this na it's very vital to mainstream veganism. Kasi we will not kid ourselves if we don't mainstream it. A lot of people won't know or have access to information concerning plant-based diets, animal welfare, veganism. So you have to create avenues or opportunities for these things to be discovered. Um, pero sa akin, sabi ko nga, not everyone can be an event organizer or a business, a food entrepreneur. So ako, focus on what you're good at, your strengths. How can I talk about veganism? Is it through my arts, my artwork, my writing, my being a CEO and being able to, in my own company, uh, talagang tutok ako sa ESG na hindi lang siya CSR, but ESG, and then really creating programs for your employees, that kind of thing. And whatever or wherever larangan ng life you are in, importante na you find your strength. Kasi dun, when you're passionate about it and you couple it with your character mo, who you are as a person, you are most effective in optimizing yourself and able to share these things. And for me, without knowledge, diba? Cliche to eh. Without knowledge, there's no power, walang growth, walang action. So kailangan natin ng growth dito sa industry na to. Make it known. Diba? Make it known so people can act on it. And then it becomes a ripple or pay it forward kind of effect. Dito, I think I'd like to use yung tagline namin sa Climate Reality Project, there's no planet B. And I'm saying this not because, we're just in the same planet. It's not, I want to highlight too that we are all interconnected. Whatever happens in, other parts of the world, and especially in the animal world or animal agriculture industries, has an effect on us, on the planet. So, sa akin, hindi tanggal or hindi absent ang usapang farm animals sa climate activism. And then, di ba, pag sa atin rin, we talk about climate justice. We focus on the marginalized, the oppressed ones, the vulnerable ones, especially amidst climate catastrophes. So when these things hit, typhoons or even drought, the first ones to be hit would be animals, especially farm animals. So they're the most vulnerable ones. I want to center too on the word justice. As a futurist, I also want to ask a question. Is justice only for humans? Parang, why can't we look at a future where every living being deserves justice and dignity and respect just because they exist? Diba? The question is not, can they think, can they reason like human beings? The first question we need to ask is, sabi nga ni Jeremy Bentham, diba? Can they suffer? And we do know that animals suffer. So they're someone. And they wouldn't be able to cry. There's no suffer if they cannot, or they're not feeling pain, right? So importante na pag sinabi natin climate justice, we fight for talagang lahatin natin. We focus on climate crisis and also focus on the justice part of it. And hindi lang kaakibat ang farm animals when it comes to the solution or when disaster strikes, but really driving in the point that their existence, our control, our billions of animals slaughtered every year is contributing or exacerbating the climate crisis problem. So, talaga yan, they're not out of the equation.